In what ways can the just concluded Anambra State governorship election affect politics in the Southeast? With the rest of the governors in the region up for election or re-election in 2023's election cycle? Is there any likelihood of a knockoff effect from what happened in Anambra? Many questions begging for answers. Well, to provide some of the answers to the posers, we'll now turn our attention to Uchenna Orji, who is the Commissioner of Information in EBONYI State. I want to say thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Certainly, I'm sure your principal has sent his good wishes to the governor-elect Chukwuma Soludo. But in the meantime, talk to us about this particular victory for your neighbor. Talking about Anambra State retaining the seats, talking about ABGA retaining the seats at the government house.
Yeah, outcome of polls is usually an expression of the will of the people. And INEC yesterday did confirm that will through the declaration of the ABGA's candidate as the winner of Anambra State's governorship election. For us, it's a victory that will further engender development in Anambra State, looking at the track records of the winner of that very election. We are pretty sure that it's going to bring on board his ingenuity and track record, of course, his experience to bear to ensure that Anambra State is moved forward. Of course, his victory is coming at a time that we need a lot of consensus in issues bordering on the development of Southeast. I think it's going to be the last child of the Governors Forum, so it is expected that he will really add a lot of his ingenuity in ensuring the championing of the cause of democracy and good governance in Southeast. Incidentally, the governors have been doing a lot, even the one that is going to be the immediate past any moment. They have been doing a lot in the Southeast to see how to tackle insecurity and how to engender development. I think that with him coming on board, a lot of impetus will be added.
And speaking of insecurity and development, with the way that the elections were conducted over the weekend, including these supplementary elections that were done once it was found out that certain local governments were not able to access voting materials on the day, what can the nation learn from this? What can the nation learn from the way that the elections were carried out and the way that the results were received as well? We actually are very happy that despite, pockets of threats and all of those impressions that the election would not hold, federal government and of course INEC had to really take the bull by the horn by ensuring that despite all those threats that the election was conducted. I think we need to give kudos to INEC of the federal government and of course the people of Anambra State for coming out en masse despite those very sure threats that we are coming. But I must say that we need to appreciate, despite agitations and shortcomings of governments, and Nigeria is our own. We need to all come together. All hands need to be on deck to ensure how to move our country forward. Of course, Southeast also to move it forward. I must say that anything that we are doing, whether it is agitation, whether it is complaint, must be within the confines of the law. And that is the conscientization that we are trying to really give to the people of Southeast. No matter what is the agitation, no matter the level of provocation from any quarters, we still need to know that this Nigeria belongs to all of us and that you and I can even do it better, can even provide solutions. And the way to provide solution is not to aggravate situations. The way to provide solution is to see what we can do on the round table to really bring about love, bring about unity of purpose, bring about peace in the body politics. I think that when this is done, we can be sure that the future of our states, as it were, the future of this country will be better.
All right, let's talk about the interstate relationship. We know that members of the Southeast come from different parties. For example, your own principal is from the APC. Do you think that as we head towards 2023, with talk about an Igbo presidency coming to the Southeast, do you think that ABGA winning in Anambra State will probably derail that particular synergy that should be heading towards 2023.
Yeah, I'm sure it never happened even in the last election, 2015 election, 2019 election. Even APGA, a lot of people in Anambra State even did vote President Buhari during the election. And so that at the governorship level, people did vote to the parties of their choice. Wouldn't mean that during the presidential election they will not come together. I think they should be looking at equity, they should be looking at equality. And in doing that, whether you belong to APGA, APC, PDP, you need to look at the best place that should produce the president. And we're looking at president of Southeast extraction, not Igbo president.
Okay.
It's a clear difference.
All right.
Yeah. And I think that the interest of fairness, equity, and oneness, of course, for us to really address some of the issues of agitation raised by IPOB, we should concede the presidency to Southeast. It's a matter of negotiation, appealing to consciences. But let me let you know that Anambra, just like any part of Southeast, is one of the states doing a lot to ensure the unity of this country. Because if you look at the history of personalities from Anambra State, starting from Sir Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and all the rest of them, you see people who are really determined towards having a virile nation where there is love, where there is peace. So I think that without political differences within the Southeast zone, we should be coming together on a round table to really negotiate with other 5 geopolitical zones to see how Southeast can produce the president. And I think when this is done, it will really do a lot to assuage the feelings of the people of the Southeast who feel marginalized in the hem of affairs of national politics.
Okay.
Okay, and speaking of a president of Southeast extraction,
All right.
if and when that does happen, in the road to get there, what should be the things that the Southeast Governors Forum and other governors and senators, all the people in the Southeast, what are the key priorities that they should be focusing on in order to keep this message online and to get to the center or to Abuja come 2023?
The negotiation is all there is. The Constitution actually does provide for different components of the country. And by what we have been doing in different political parties, we've actually recognized the geopolitical zones. And also the Constitution does recognize equity and equality in the consideration of political positions. So I think Southeast needs to come together at this point in time, despite their political differences or colorations, to see how we can chart one course. And to say at this point in our history, every part of Nigeria should consider voting for somebody of Southeast extraction from any political party. I can say this because I know that Southeast has paid its dues in the body governance. I can tell you that in 1999, it was Southeast leading the cause of PDP that produced the president for more than 8 years, more than 16 years, as it were. And I think that also before 1999, Southeast had always given its vote to the party at the center, call it the NPN, even before 1960, and all of that. So there had been alliance between the Southeastern parties at the center, especially the northern parties. I want to say that at this point in time, we need to sit together to still negotiate and ask our geopolitical zones, the leaders from all those areas, to concede that Southeast needs, as a matter of equity, to produce the president. But it's not for fighting, it is for negotiation and to appeal to the conscience of people.
Now, talk to me, how important is it that a man of Chukwuma Soludo's wealth of experience and his understanding of leadership and also his understanding of governance over the years, how important is it to making the Southeast a little bit more strategic heading towards 2023?
Yeah, over the years, people from the Southeast have been producing leaders who are really doing their best to show leadership. Except that you can say that there are X and there are X. When you compare leaders with leaders, you see a big difference.
Yeah.
And if you
go to EBONYI State, you see what I'm talking about, where a governor within the shortest record of time transformed a state that was neglected.
No, but I want to find out about Chukwuma Soludo. How important is a man of his caliber?
Yes, I'm trying to cite an example in order to answer your question.
Yeah.
That we require people with track records of performance in their previous place of leadership. And I think he did well as governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. I have no doubt that he's going to perform as governor of Anambra State. But we all require, all of us, all the governors to come together in the Southeast to champion the cause of Southeast. I think he's going to provide a lot of ingenuity in this cause. I have no doubt. I'm not from Anambra State, but I think that he would do very well.
All right.
Okay. Let me put this here. And also, there are claims that there is no true synergy and there is no true cooperation from the governors of the Southeast. Some have actually differed because we saw some governors refusing to attend that Southeast governors meeting. Some pulled out and some didn't even give right reasons why. Do you think that at this moment in time there should be a huge synergy and all hands should be on deck to ensure that they produce a president in the lead up to the 2023 presidential election?
It does depend on your conception and perception. On the affairs of the Southeast Governors Forum, I can tell you that they are about the most responsive governors forum among the 6 geopolitical zones. If you look at the number of meetings they have convened, you see that they're having the highest record of that. If you are looking at the consensus they have had across border within the zone, when you compare them to others, you see that they have been very proactive, tackling insecurity issues, ensuring that meetings are held across board. Even the Southern Governors meeting that was held on 1 or 2 occasions, one in Delta State, one in Enugu State. I can tell you that the Southeast Governors Forum gave a lot of impetus to that very meeting. And so anybody that is saying that they are not united is, for me, is not saying the truth. Where a governor is not present, he does send his deputy. I think there hasn't been any disagreement in their resolutions.
Mr. Oji, sorry to interrupt, but once again, we are out of time. It's always great to have you in the studio to clear things up for us and the rest of the nation. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.